I was counting my blessings, I felt beaten down. I was looking for a calling, felt lonely in a crowd. I was searching for the answers, too blind to see the signs. He was always by my side. He shed his light and picked me up. I'm safe in his arms. I found my bliss in the greatest love there is. The greatest love there is.
Hey guys, well, I know this is one of those times that I'm supposed to absolutely stop what I'm doing and talk to you. I actually was able to get up and do some cleaning yesterday. You know, if you've lived in your house any length of time, you've got cabinets and drawers that need to be cleaned out. And that's what I started doing yesterday. I feel a need to get things organized. I have felt very out of control the last month or so. And I think yesterday I just felt the need to do something to be productive and to clear up junk. And I think it's more than just junk in the drawers. It's just junk that comes into our lives sometimes. And you know, you've got that junk drawer and it drives you crazy, but you have to get to a certain place to where you're actually going to stop and clean it out. And once you ever do, you feel so much better. Tend to hold on to stuff in that junk drawer sometimes too long. And so I listened to podcasts most of the day, and I have to tell you that I was worn completely out when I got through working. I worked several hours, and but I felt good because I'd gotten something done. Well, I've had a slow morning, but I've got up and I'm working. It's after 12. And so today on the podcast, I've been listening to Jensen Franklin teach about short prayers. But I'm going to have a hard time getting through this. But the Lord said, stop and share this, because not only you need this, but other people do too. I'm going to have a hard time getting through this. But I know that I'm supposed to share this with you because it ministered to me so deeply. True story. Man going down a road, and his car just quits working. And so he pulls over to the side of the road. This is a story that Jensen shared. Pulls over to the side of the road. He puts the hood up. And he gets out there and he's working and he's working and he's trying to figure out what's wrong with the car, and he can't. He's just so frustrated, and he's standing there, you know, with his hand up on the top and just, you know, just so frustrated. Well, a big limo goes by him, and then it pulls right over, and a guy in a three-piece suit gets out. I mean, suit, tie, hat, everything, gets out and comes back there, and he says, "What's going on?" And he said, "Well, my car is broken down and I can't get it fixed." And the guy said, "Well, I happen to know a little bit about engines, about motors." He said, "Would you consider getting in there and letting me tinker with it and see what I can do with it?" And the guy's just shocked, because the guy's gotten out of a limousine and he's dressed to the hilt, and he just can't believe that he's getting out to help him on the side of the road. So he said, "Sure, absolutely." You know, so he gets in there and he goes and sits in the car, and the guy is, he's tinkering with it and everything. He looks around the hood. He said, "Do you mind trying it?" The guy said, "Sure." And so he tries to crank it. It cranks right up. Just just like that. And so the guy puts the hood down and gets his handkerchief out and starts cleaning the grease off his hands and everything, and starts to walk off. And the guy gets out of the car and he said, wait, just a minute. He said, thank you so much. He said, what do I owe you for doing this? And he said, man, you don't owe me anything. You don't owe me anything. And he said, well, can I at least get your name? And he said, yeah. He said, my name's Henry Ford. And this is the kicker. And he said, thank you. And he said, and I want you to listen to this because I had to write it down. He said, I can't stand to see one of my creations broken down, sitting on the side of the road when it's supposed to be moving forward. I can't stand to see one of my creations broken down, sitting on the side of the road when it's supposed to be moving. God came all over me. I have been broken down. Broken down. And God spoke to me and said, Suzanne, I don't want you broken down. I can't stand to see one of my creations broken down, sitting on the side of the road, not being productive, not moving, not busy, but broken down when you're created to move. Now, he doesn't stop me like this every so often, but you know he does. And usually the washing machine or the dryer's going, and it is right now, and you can hear it. It always happens that I'm cleaning when this happens. But I know enough in answering your comments and talking to all of you to know that many of you are broken down physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And what Jensen is teaching on is short prayers. That it doesn't have to be a long, elaborate prayer for God to show up for his people. You know, when we read some of the prayers in the Bible, they weren't long prayers at all. They were short. But they were crying out to a creator who cared about them, who loved them, who knows their heart. He knows their intent. That's what I've kept saying this past month is, God, you know my heart. You know my heart. You know what I'm going through, and you know my heart. And I'm just stopping, cleaning out cabinets and putting stuff away and throwing stuff away. It's so symbolic of what I've been doing yesterday and today with this very message to get rid of the junk in your life. Now, sometimes we don't bring it in. Sometimes it just happens. It just happens. But still, junk creates. And if we hold on to it in the back of our mind, we're forever going to be going, I need to get rid of that junk. I need to get rid of that junk. I need to get rid of that junk. But until we do that cleansing, and this is, oh my gosh, this is so for me today, and it's so amazing the way God works, that I didn't listen to this podcast yesterday. I listened to it today, and I mean, as soon I have played this quote over and over again. I can't stand to see one of my creations broken down, sitting on the side of the road of life when it's supposed to be moving. That's what God is saying to me this morning. Suzanne, get rid of the junk. Get rid of the junk. And I've made plans to do that. I have made plans to do that. And I want to see you moving. I want to see you thriving. I want to see you walking in the fullness of life. Several of you are going through sicknesses. Several of you are going through very anxious times. Several of you are going through a spouse being sick or losing a spouse. Several of you are going through job transitions. Several of you are going through new phases in life where, you know, you've entered retirement, or you've entered a new phase where, you know, somebody very important to you is missing. Well, this kind of stuff breaks us down. And just if you watch the news at night, if you're not careful, you'll get broken down by the road of life. So God is saying, You pray to me. You talk to me. You talk to me. Instead of sitting there and worrying and just going through the grief and going through the pain and the sorrow of brokenness, or the fear of sickness, or knowing that, the fear of a spouse or of a child, of a grandchild, come to me. Oh, he's talking to me this morning. He's talking to me. I have prayed. But it's been hard with everything to totally release everything. And this morning, that's what he's saying to me. I can't stand to see you broken down. You're my creation. I want you to be a viable, moving, active child of God. I don't want you broken down any longer, and I know you are. And he cares so much for me and for you that he stopped me in my tracks over there. I mean, I was standing in the middle of my kitchen crying. And he said, go tell my people, I don't want you broken down. I want you alive and active. Work on it. Come to me. Study my word. Pray. And know that I am there for you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. And even though the circumstances and the problems are still there, I will help you, my creation, to be what you need to be. I thank the Lord for this morning. This is just one of those crazy times that he has me to stop and to tell you exactly what I'm going through, because I know that if he touches me with it, he's going to touch you with it today. Proclaim it. Say, Lord, let me read you this quote again, because you may want to write it down. I put it in my prayer journal. I cannot stand to see one of my creations broken down, sitting on the side of the road when it's supposed to be moving. We're going to move. He says, in him we have our movement. We have our life through Jesus Christ. And I just praise him today that he touched me to let me know it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. It's going to be okay. Get up. Don't be broken. And keep moving, girlfriend. Keep moving in me. I love every one of y'all. And I know this is going to speak to you. And when it does, you let me know in the comments below. Like the video. I'd never tell y'all to do that, but it does help the algorithms. It helps it to spread the word. So make sure and hit the like button every time. But tell me below, did this minister to you? And how? And why? And how you feel? Just talk to me. And know that we're going to make it. We're going to be fine in the name of Jesus. I love y'all. Bye.